Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing a traditional sew-in on a returning client. Now if you're interested in getting extensions but want to avoid the stress, the drama, the damage, then stay tuned because I'm getting into my #1 secret that is helping my clients not only avoid damage but also grow their hair while in extensions. So let's dive in. Alright, so this is my client's hair after a fresh detox with a clarifying shampoo. That's because before her install, I want to make sure I'm starting on a clean canvas. And as you can see, my client's hair, it looks really good. Her curls are popping, she has great shape, and that is because I saw her 3 weeks prior for her first keratin treatment. And that is the big secret. I don't want to waste your time. Most of my clients get a keratin treatment before any extensions install, and for the rest of this video we're going to chat about why that's helping my clients protect and grow their hair. Alright, to give my client's hair some extra love and strength, I'm going in with an Olaplex treatment. Now unlike a keratin treatment, which is protein, Olaplex is a chemical compound that goes in your hair and finds any broken bonds and builds them back together. This helps repair damage and make sure that your hair is stronger while underneath its protective style. Now before I get too ahead of myself, if you are unfamiliar of what a keratin treatment is, a keratin treatment is a smoothing treatment that infuses the hair with keratin protein. Its aim is to reduce frizz, smooth curls, and makes hair stronger and shinier for weeks. Now when comparing keratin and Olaplex treatments, I like to think of Olaplex as repair and keratin as manageability. And I love to pair them together, especially after a keratin treatment. I like to go in with Olaplex because Olaplex will prolong the results of the keratin treatment. And that's because it doesn't remove the keratin, but it strengthens the internal structure underneath it. Therefore, it maintains the health of the hair long term and preserves the integrity of the hair as the keratin eventually washes out over time. Alright, after applying her Olaplex treatment, I like to pair it with a steam treatment. And that's because a hair steamer is going to hydrate not only her hair, but her scalp, which is so important because we are going to install a protective style. So her hair is not going to be seeing as much moisture as it's used to. So I want to put as much hydration, moisture into her hair as I can. Alright, so after steaming, I'm going in with my moisture shampoo to wash out that Olaplex treatment. And what I love about the moisture shampoo is that it's rich, it's creamy, but it doesn't leave a heavy residue behind after washing. Your hair feels fresh and moisturized at the same time. What's also great about it is that not only is it color safe, but it's keratin safe. And it's so important, I tell my clients who get keratin treatments that you get the right shampoo. And that's because you don't want your shampoo to strip your hair of the keratin treatment, but you want it to be able to preserve the moisture in your hair. This is why I love using this product on my clients before their installs, because it's not only going to protect their keratin treatments, but it's going to keep their hair moisturized while in a protective style. For her deep conditioning treatment today, I'm going in with the Deep Repair treatment. Now, this is the #1 bestseller in the salon, and for good reason, because what I love about it is that it gives your hair slip, but you also feel like your hair is so moisturized and healthier after. You feel it working as you're working it through your hair. It really helps to tangle and strengthen your hair all at the same time. But what I love about it is that it doesn't leave behind any heavy grease, any heavy residue, so it's perfect for fine hair too, because you don't want anything to weigh your hair down. And what I love about this product for my clients who get keratin treatments is that the Deep Repair treatment also has keratin in it. So it's going to help you prolong the results of your keratin treatment long after it starts to wash out. So your hair will be able to stretch from keratin treatment to keratin treatment with a good deep conditioner. So this is perfect for my client because not only will it help reinforce her keratin treatment, but it's also going to keep her hair moisturized and strong while underneath her install. Alright, and to prep her hair for her blowout, I'm going in with the Emergency Miracle treatment, which is the leave-in conditioner of the line. Now, you already know if you watch my videos, I don't style any style without putting in a leave-in conditioner first. And that's because not only will it keep your hair moisturized for longer, but it's going to make styling easier and it's going to make your styles last longer. Alright, and for heat protection, I'm going in with lite, which is the blow dry cream. Now, if you never used a blow dry cream before, you are missing out. And that's because it has the cream content, which is moisture, but then it also has the heat protection, which is great when you're blow drying your hair because you know your hair can get really dry and crunchy after a blowout. So a blow dry cream is going to prevent that and it's going to keep your hair soft and moisturized. And lastly, to seal in all the moisture and for added heat protection, I'm going in with the amethyst oil. Now, I love the amethyst oil because not only does the heat protection help speed up the blow dry time, but it also leaves the hair silky and shiny with a nice finish. Alright, so as I blow dry my client's hair, let's get into the benefits of a keratin treatment for naturally curly hair, and then later we'll get into why they're great for sew-ins. Okay, so a keratin treatment, like I've mentioned before, it reduces frizz. It smooths the hair cuticle, making curls more manageable and less prone to humidity, which induces frizz. And that's so important when you want to preserve your styles. You don't want it to get frizzy. You want them to last long. And then a keratin treatment helps make your hair more manageable. This means the detangling process becomes easier, therefore reducing breakage and shedding. A keratin treatment also helps strengthen your hair because keratin infuses protein back into damaged and porous strands. And lastly, a keratin treatment temporarily loosens the curl pattern just a bit. You're not going to go from a 4C to a 3C, but it will help elongate your curls for a little bit of a stretch. Now, if you want to learn more about keratin treatments or see them in action, I have a whole playlist on YouTube about keratin treatments, and you can see it done on different curl types and the benefits it has for my clients. After this video, go check it out. Alright, after the blow dry, I'm giving my client a braid down using the Flex Paste. Now, the Flex Paste is a braiding gel, and I love it because not only does it provide hold, which makes braiding much easier, but the molecules of the Flex Paste are so small that after I use the product for the hold, it seeps into the hair without leaving a heavy residue behind, which causes product buildup. That's the problem with a lot of braiding gels, is that the molecules are so heavy that they just sit on top of the strand and leave the product behind, which also creates a barrier for moisture to getting into your hair. Therefore, not only it leaves your hair, but your scalp dry and thirsty. Alright, so as I braid down my client's hair, I just want to mention that I'm of the camp of not using hair nets. There is a time and a place for them, but I like to reinforce my client's hair using braiding hair so that I know that they have access to the scalp. And that's more important to me because I want to make sure that beyond my chair, you're able to wash your hair and your scalp thoroughly, because that's so important than just the longevity of the style. As you can see, I like to keep the braiding pattern simple and the scalp accessible. Alright, after my client's braid down, I'm going back in with that amethyst oil to soothe her scalp. And this is literally the only time I apply oil to the scalp, and that's because we just braided her hair and I want to make sure that her scalp is lubricated because we just applied some tension, some manipulation, so it's able to soothe her scalp so it's not itchy or irritated later. Alright, so today I'm going in with my kinky straight hair extensions in 20 inches from my salon, and this origin is Cambodian hair, and you can see how full it looks. I love it because I only need 2 bundles to get a natural look, and it's so full. This hair is so manageable, and you can see it's so thick from weft to end. Alright, so as I sew in my client's hair extensions, let's quickly dive into some benefits of getting a traditional sew-in. One benefit of a traditional sew-in is that it's a protective style. That's because the majority of your hair is braided and tucked away and protected from daily stressors that will eventually lead to shedding and breakage. Another benefit of a sew-in is that even if you do have some hair left out, it is very low manipulation, which means that you're not constantly styling your natural hair, which supports length retention over time. And lastly, traditional sew-ins allow versatility, meaning you can experiment with different styles while your real hair grows underneath. And as I mentioned before, my favorite benefit of a traditional sew-in is that you're still able to wash and manage your hair while installed. Unlike braids or twists where you're afraid to wash your hair because you don't want to ruin the style, a traditional sew-in allows you to wash your hair and still style it and look good later on. Alright, to blend in my client's leave out, I'm going back in with the amethyst oil for heat protection and some added shine. Now, as I flat iron my client's hair, let's dive into why keratin treatments and hair extensions pair well together. For one, because keratin treatments are strengthened treatments with that added protein, it preps your hair to withstand the tension from the braids and the extensions. This helps minimize breakage over time. Because a keratin treatment is a smoothing treatment, it allows your leave out to better seamlessly blend with your extensions without the need of daily flat ironing. And the best part is that a keratin treatment fights against humidity, so your straighter styles will last longer. Alright, and this is my client's hair after blending in that leave out. You can see how full this hair is, and once again, it is only 2 bundles of the kinky straight. My favorite part about this hair is that not only how full it looks, but it's actually really lightweight and it straightens so beautifully. Alright, so as I style my client's hair, let's dive into some quick maintenance tips when you're wearing a sew-in with a keratin treatment. Alright, so first things first, you want to make sure that you are still washing your hair on a consistent basis. I don't recommend anything longer than every 2 to 3 weeks. And you want to use an applicator bottle. That's going to make it easier for you to reach your scalp. And then you want to follow up with a lightweight conditioner that's not going to add any heavy products that can weigh down your hair or cause buildup near the tracks. And lastly, even though keratin treatments make your hair more manageable, you want to avoid using excess heat. That's because it can still cause damage, especially to your leave out. When you do heat style your hair, always use a heat protectant, but best practice is to find heatless options. Alright, and here are the final results. Look how seamlessly her hair blends in with these extensions, and her keratin treatment is going to make sure that that blend is long lasting. And y'all, look how full her hair is. Once again, only using 2 bundles. If you want to know why sew-ins are the best protective style, you're going to want to watch this upcoming video. Until then, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye!